Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. Hannah Hasan here. It is Women's History Month, and I'm coming at you once again with the project that I just have created for this month. An opportunity for me to show love and light to the Black women specifically who have created space for me and so many others. So each day that I go live, I will be sharing a poem, a story, an excerpt from a book or a speech, all words that need to be heard and spoken, and some of them have been heard by the women themselves or other people who have, did adaptations of their work or just shared their work directly. I am a storyteller, a poet, a public speaker, and I believe in the spoken word. And I believe that we should keep the stories and the experiences and the speeches and the words of Black women alive, and we should share them and speak about them every month, but especially during Women's History Month, because we can talk about the way that they have impacted so many of us through this method. So each time I pick a new person. Sometimes during this month, you'll hear stuff from the same people, like Miss Maya Angelou, because she's one of my personal sheroes. But today I asked my husband to think of an important speech or story from a Black woman that he liked. And I do that with different people almost each time. And he picked the Ain't I a Woman speech by Sojourner Truth. And it's funny because I don't know that it's been a while since I've read or spoken this speech. But I do have a poem that I wrote from the sort of theme of Ain't I a Woman. Anyway, I'm going to share that tonight, or at least just an excerpt from it. I have it here. I'm pulling it up right now. It's funny because I didn't realize that there was a little bit of controversy surrounding this speech. It turns out that I guess other versions of it have been printed that people don't believe, that don't include the Ain't I a Woman refrain. So, I don't know, that's strange. But either way, it's not super long. So I'll do, I think this is the whole thing. This was held, Sojourner Truth delivered this in 1851 at the Women's Rights Convention in Akron, Ohio. Ain't I a Woman? Well, children, there's so much racket, there must be something out of kilter. I think that twixt the Negroes of the South and the women of the North all talking about rights, the white men will be in a fix pretty soon. But what's all this here talking about? That man over there says that women need to be helped into carriages and lifted over ditches and have to have the best place everywhere. Nobody ever helps me into carriages or over mud puddles or gives me any best place. And ain't I a woman? Look at me. Look at my arm. I have plowed and planted and gathered into barns, and no man could head me. And ain't I a woman? I could work as much and eat as much as a man when I could get it, and bear the lash as well. And ain't I a woman? I have borne 13 children and seen most all sold off to slavery. And when I cried out with my mother's grief, none but Jesus heard me. And ain't I a woman? Then they talk about this thing in the head. What's they call it? Intellect. That's it, honey. What's that got to do with women's rights or Negroes' rights? If my cup won't hold but a pint and yours holds a quart, wouldn't you be mean not to let me have my little half measure full? Then that little man in black there, he says women can't have as much rights as men because Christ wasn't a woman. Where did your Christ come from? Where did your Christ come from? From God and a woman? Man had nothing to do with him. And the first woman God ever made was strong enough to turn the world upside down all along. These women together ought to be able to turn it back and get it right side up again. And now they is asking us to do it. The men better let them. Obliged to you for hearing me. And now old Sojourner ain't got nothing more to say. Thank you all. Please continue to share and speak the stories of women, the stories of Black women as much as you can. All right. I plan to see y'all tomorrow. Have a good night.